Con artists have long been a topic that viewers find fascinating. When you plunge into their world, clutching the couch as you go along for the ride, do you root for them to get away with it, or do you want to see them brought to justice? Welcome to Toporo. Toporo is where we count down the best and leave out the rest. In this video, we're going to discuss top 10 con artist shows to watch. Number 10. Dirty John. Gripping performances, tough subject matter, and revenge. The recipe is all laid out here, with Connie Brisson and Julia Garner along with Eric Bana bringing the goods. Making the show even more captivating is that it's based on Christopher Goffard's podcast, which shares the same name, giving this show a big boost from the throngs of con artist podcast fans. Number 9. Dirty Money. A critically acclaimed 2014 documentary about one of the most staggeringly prolific art forgers in history, Art and Craft, followed the 30-year career of Mark Landis, who spent years knocking off everything from Renaissance masters to Walt Disney. The twist? He didn't do it for the money, at least not for the money for himself. Instead, Landis donated many of his works to noted art museums and institutions, inviting them to either display the works or pawn them off to pad their coffers. He eventually got caught, of course, but not until his work had been unknowingly seen by thousands who marveled in its grace and beauty. Number 8. Pickpockets. Pickpockets, which was released in 2018, chronicles the lives of two adolescent criminals and best friends, Fresh and Doggy, who rely on petty crime on the streets of Bogota to make ends meet. Their strategy usually entails robbing wealthy people and bringing their loot to the boss, who then gives them a tiny cut. Despite the fact that they're adept at their professions, they have recently turned to committing acts of violence, making them obvious targets for the cops. Fortunately for the couple, they stumble upon Chucho, an accomplished pickpocket. He sees their potential and offers to help them develop it. The trio quickly proceeds to score more stuff, ranging from jewels to tablets to large wads of cash, with the help of a third recruit, Joanna. They still have to provide Chucho a big portion of their earnings, so they plan to phase him out gradually. While Fresh utilizes his money to support his family, Doggy is just interested in becoming wealthy. They now have to deal with more serious threats as they discover that large sums of money come with even larger risks. Pickpockets, a classic criminal and con artist show, is a must-see. He eventually got caught, of course, but not until his work had been unknowingly seen by thousands who marveled in its grace and beauty. Number 7. Hustle. This British crime show stars a group of con artists in a string of elaborate schemes. The group dynamic of the con artists is one of the things that makes this show so great, with the show feeling almost like a traditional heist movie at times, and each member of the group has a different specialty that helps them to complete their schemes. The cons themselves make the group out to be more of Robin Hood type characters as opposed to petty thieves, giving the show extra room to include social commentary, which is included smoothly with other themes of class struggle against the elite. Number 6. Catch Me If You Can. Acting chameleon Leonardo DiCaprio and America's sweetheart Tom Hanks headlined the 2002 biographical crime film Catch Me If You Can, which is based on the life of an author and notorious convicted felon, Frank Abagnale. The con artist infamously performed countless dupes and frauds worth millions of dollars by the time he was 19, having posed as a doctor, parish prosecutor, and Pan American World Airways pilot. The highly renowned Steven Spielberg directed the epic picture and brought the real-life Abagnale on as a consultant for the biopic. He even had a cameo as the French officer who arrests Frank on Christmas Eve, 1967. Spielberg was initially reluctant to approach Hanks for the part of FBI agent Carl Hanratty, assuming he wouldn't be interested in playing a supporting role. Catch Me If You Can opened to both critical and commercial success, earning both Academy Award and Golden Globe nominations. Number 5. The Dropout. It really is amazing the lengths people will go to for fortune, even scamming and lying to those hoping for a miracle. Actually, that's at the heart of it a lot of times when people who seem to have no heart make up elaborate hoaxes, such as the one by Elizabeth Holmes, as portrayed here by Amanda Seyfried. There are some laughs in this one, but by the end, you're a bit peeved, a bit sad, and a bit perplexed, which is a somewhat satisfying end to these kind of flicks. The CEO of health tech startup Theranos, who was just blatantly making shit up, has inspired more than one movie as well, including the very solid 2019 film The Inventor, out for Blood in Silicon Valley. The title for that one is better, but The Dropout was the better film of the two. Number 4. McMillions. Any cultural connoisseur worth their salt knows about McDonald's monopoly. the fast food restaurants, and will collect them all. Game dangles big prizes by encouraging customers to collect more game pieces by buying more food. As it turns out though, a lot of the game's biggest prizes were practically unwinnable from 1989 to 2001, a fact that colorfully elucidated throughout the MCMILLIONS docuseries. Over 6 episodes, the series uses insider interviews to get at the ridiculous bumbles and turns that led to one of the game's creators biking the supposedly unriggable system for about $24 million. Anyone hungry for scam programming will surely be able to make a meal of this delicious and ridiculous case of fraud. Number 3. Leverage. This show is about a group of con artists who have been hired by a former insurance investigator to settle scores with wealthy people who harm innocent ones. The team, with unique and polished skills, includes Nate Ford, the brains, Sophie Devereaux, the grifter, Elliot Spencer, the hitter, Alec Hardison, the hacker, and Parker, the thief. The whole story in the series is about how they trap powerful people with wealth. The gripping show was aired between 2008 to 2012 over 5 seasons. The cast includes Timothy Hutton, Aldous Hodge, Christian Kane, Beth Riesgraf, and Gina Bellman. Number 2. Focus. The charming Will Smith and Margot Robbie teamed up for the 2015 crime dramedy Focus, which centers on seasoned conman Nicky Spurgeon as he takes grifter and aspiring femme fatale Jess Barrett under his wing and sparks inevitably fly. After Nicky ends their relationship due to his romantic feelings, the devious duo cross paths 3 years later while plotting a dangerous and lucrative scheme. The film was originally supposed to star frequent collaborators Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone, but actors were forced to drop out and Smith and Robbie were brought in as the con artist pair. Do you root for them to get away with it, or do you want to see them brought to justice? Despite mixed reviews from critics, Focus was a box office success and grossed over $150 million. Number 1. Better Call Saul. One of the most critically acclaimed shows ever, there is little to be said that hasn't already been discussed about Vince Gilligan's brilliant Breaking Bad spin-off. The show follows Jimmy McGill, who's trying to lead a life of scamming behind while struggling with the fact that it just might be the thing he's best at. Using his law degree and his smooth talking skills to both get ahead and slow others down, Jimmy is just as easy to love as he is to hate. Filled with brilliant side characters and dozens of intricately woven storylines, the show is well worth the hype. Which ones have you watched? Be sure to let us know in the comment section below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and get notified for more. Thanks for watching, this is Toporo, and we're out. See you in the next video. Until then, take care, stay safe, and be happy, guys.